Alright, now I'm going to be talking about the Star Wars prequels. Now, I already talked about the original trilogy. Now I'm going to be talking about the prequels, so Star Wars Episode 1 on VHS. Alright, so also Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Alright, so there it is. Okay, and also Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Alright, so there it is, Darth Vader. You know, at the end of the movie, which is, I liked that part. Now, alright, so I'm going to be talking about them. Alright, so, Star Wars, the first episode, so Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace came out in 1999, and Attack of the Clones came out in 2002, and Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. Now, out of the three films right here, I would say Part 3, Episode 3 is by far my favorite because I thought this had the best special effects and was the most entertaining. In this movie, I couldn't really say I disliked this film because comparing it to these two movies, Episode 2 and Episode 1, I think this movie is by far the best out of the prequels. Now, because this movie, I like the scene where you see Darth Vader at the end, like, where there's Darth Vader, and that shows, like, the origin of Darth Vader, like, how he becomes Darth Vader, which I thought was pretty cool, seeing him at the end. Now, the thing is with Star Wars Episode 1, now, there were some pretty cool scenes in Episode 1 that I liked. I like the scenes where they were racing, the pod racing scene, and also some of the special effects. I'd say for 1999, they weren't that bad, and but the problem is that they overdid it with the computer-generated images, and that's what, you know, sort of disappointed fans like myself, but you know, there were some cool action scenes that I thought weren't too bad, but yeah, Star Wars Episode 1, right? Now, with Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, now, there were some pretty boring scenes, but also some good fighting scenes, which I enjoyed, and yeah, a lot of this film was pretty boring throughout most of it, and yeah, it was not a whole lot happened throughout most of the film, and that's like the main problem with Attack of the Clones. And if I really thought about it, I would say Episode 2 is probably my least favorite, because at least with this movie, there were some good action scenes that, for its time, looked, I guess they were pretty cool, but I mean, with this movie, there's nothing really special about this film. It's pretty boring and yeah, not that good. But with this movie, I'd say the special effects have really improved, like with the computer-generated images. And yeah, that's why I'd say this is by far my favorite and is the most entertaining throughout all three of these movies. Both Star Wars Episode 2, there were some pretty boring scenes that were mainly just to build up, and yeah, I thought this film was just a bit unnecessary, and it just seemed like it was mainly building up for Episode 3, mainly to show like the whole origin of Darth Vader and how the person right here becomes Darth Vader, and yeah, that's why I thought this was boring. Not a whole lot of action really happened throughout a lot of this film, and that's why I didn't really care for it. The prequels were really a big disappointment from the original Star Wars trilogy that I talked about. Now, really the problem with these movies were that there are a lot of boring scenes throughout a lot of this film, Episode 2, and throughout Episode 1. There were some pretty boring scenes. But the thing that I like about Episode 3 is like the action scenes and how it doesn't really seem all too unnecessary. Like it seems like somewhat of a good film, even though it has flaws and some problems, and it's nowhere near as good as the first two, like the first original trilogy of Star Wars films. I still thought it was good and I enjoyed this film, even though some people didn't like it because, like some of the problems this film had. I personally enjoyed this film, and especially comparing it to episode 1 and 2. But yeah, it's a good movie, but if you don't really care for the Star Wars films, then I wouldn't really recommend this film. I will be doing like a video, I will be coming out with like actual reviews for all of the Star Wars films in the franchise. Like doing videos for each movie, like reviewing each and all of these films, because I really do like the Star Wars films. Even though, these movies are a bit of a disappointment, but still I really liked Star Wars Episode 7 and also Rogue One. And right here I have the Star Wars hat, so yeah. Anyways, comment down below your opinions of what you think of the prequels, like what you thought of episode 1 and episode 2 and 3. That's gonna be about it for now, so please subscribe, like and share this video, and that's gonna be it for now, so that's it, bye.